丈夫大丈夫で大丈夫っぽい大丈夫大丈夫
大丈夫
大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫
大丈夫か
大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫だよ大丈夫なの
大丈夫か
大丈夫
Hello, you're listening to Daijoubu Podcast. I'm Christian, and today I'm here with Gabby.
Hello.
And David.
What's up?
And today is our week 6 episode. We're going to be talking about Kyoukai no Kanata and anime tropes, what we love and what we hate about specific anime tropes. And just in general, we're going to talk about anime tropes and stuff. This week we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. We're going to try to cut it a little bit shorter than our typical 1-hour episodes. And so with that, we're going to be cutting out our weekend anime portion. So we're just going to go straight into the meat and talk about Kyoukai no Kanata and anime tropes. So, alright, Kyoukai no Kanata. This is a show that was aired in 2013, made by KyoAni. And if you guys have been following, it is definitely one of my favorite studios that I can't stop raging about.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically this week, we're going to be talking about the ending. And so it's going to get pretty spoilery towards the end.
Like heavy spoilers.
Yeah. We're going to talk about what happened and then our reactions to it, because it seems that we weren't all on the same page with it.
Right, and it's something that we've all seen, so...
Right.
Yeah, which will be really fun.
And Gabby has
also,
recently seen it.
I literally just watched it this week, but it's also known as Beyond the Boundary.
Oh yeah, in English it's called Beyond the Boundary. But yeah, it's a fantasy slice of life supernatural show, and this is just the main plot, and I'm gonna give real quick. So if you haven't watched it, you can listen to this and see if it's something that you'd be interested in. But basically, it's a story set in a fictional world where there's normal people and supernatural ghost things called yomus, and the yomus have to be slain by yomu slayers, or spirit hunters, that's what they're called, and they collect their stones for money, basically, these spirit hunters, and they protect the world kind of thing. So the main character, Akihito Kanbara, he's the blonde hair kid, he turns out to be a half yomu, half human. And when he meets a girl named Mirai Kuriyama, she is a spirit hunter and knows that he's a yomu, and she is very weird in the sense that she hasn't killed one in a very long time. And so she tries to kill him to get back into the swing of things, but it turns out his ability is he heals very quickly. So now...
Basically immortal.
He's basically immortal, and so she can never really kill him, and suddenly their city gets attacked, gets attacked by dangerous monsters, and they have to work together towards a common goal. And that's pretty much it. So, right after this, we're going to immediately start talking about spoilers. So, if you haven't watched Kyoukai no Kanata, or you want to stay spoiler-free from it, please just go on to the next section and do not listen to the next part at all. Right. But, actually, let's talk about how we like the show in general.
Wait, Christian, first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, yeah, perfect, you pulled up the picture. Okay, sorry. It's, delayed. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. But,
right, yeah.
So, go ahead, let's just talk about the show in general. What were you guys' reactions?
What you like. I mean, I really, really liked it for the most part.
Okay.
The comedy in it is really, it took a little while to get used to, because it seems at times where that they're doing it at slightly inappropriate times. It's something very, very serious is happening, and then all of a sudden they, put in some random, pervert joke, and I'm like, okay, I got this, I can get used to it. And it just took a little getting used to in the beginning, but once I, got it, then it was better, but...
Right. Okay, keep going.
No, you can't.
Okay, I was gonna say, I really like the opening scene. You said you just watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, when did you first start episode 1?
What do you mean, a few days ago?
Okay, cool. So I saw the opening scene, and it was just like I'm hooked. Like what's going on? Why is this
Yeah.
girl? Why did like this blood sword? Like how's he still alive? I'm like
Right.
I'm gonna binge this right now. So, and I did, and I loved it.
Yeah, I've watched the first episode of that multiple times because like I've
Yeah?
tried to watch the whole series multiple times, and every
Huh.
time like something happens and I don't get to
Okay.
finish it. So
Yeah.
yeah, can you guys hear that?
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
that
what is
sound?
that?
My neighbors are revving their motorcycles for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Well,
Okay.
Nice.
that's
Sorry
really
about
cool.
that.
That's really loud.
That's fine. I'm like literally behind you.
Or the show, when I watched the show at this point in my life, I had been watching a bunch of moe. I don't want to say crap, but crap. Because, like, it was just a bunch of slice of life moe, girls doing girl things, really cute, but very. After, like, my fourth show. What?
Can you name some animes that you were watching? Like,
Yeah, I think I watched
You remember?
K-On! Season 1, and I was watching Girls in Panzer, and then I was watching, what was...
Moe
I think I watched
Phase.
Black Rock Shooter at this time, which that's like... Not-
kind of.
That one's kind of more action-y. Not
Yeah.
really. And, like,
Is
just...
it not? Is it not?
No, it's like...
Oh.
It's... Okay, we're not going to talk about Black Rock
Okay,
Shooter,
sorry.
but Black Rock
I just-
Shooter is, like,
I was
pretty
under the
show...
impression it was action.
Yeah, no, it's a lot more slice of lifey and like just dramatic slice of life. Like, what are these girls doing with their emotions? Okay, anyways, and basically, I needed like some more action in my life, but at the same time, I
Still
didn't.
wanted the beauty.
Yeah, I still wanted a really beautiful show, and I didn't want to just like go watch Neon Genesis and just like hate my life.
Right.
So.
Literally
so-
the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that was the other option I could watch. But I instead I watched Kyoukai no Kanata, and it had like just the right amount of action, slice of life, funny stuff that I was like, wow, this is something really awesome in my life I needed. I'm so glad to have watched this.
And it's made by Kion Annie, so everyone's cute.
Yeah,
Every
everyone's
character is adorable.
not even like adorable, just beautiful. Like
Yeah.
all the character like designs are amazing, and all the powers, like all the sceneries are just beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like
Even
each-
action sequences are really good.
Yeah. The only
Oh.
like complaint I have with action sequences from the show is that it felt like very light. Like it felt like they didn't have a purpose to be fighting. They were just fighting because the show wanted it to fight. Does that make sense?
Needed to get
Yeah.
money, you know.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
nothing was
Wow, what a
nothing
weird
felt
system.
like dire. None of their fight scenes were like,
Yeah.
"What this character will die."
Right.
So because
Yeah.
Aki, like he was immortal, and like all the other guys just proved to be OP. Like they all
Yeah.
just were like
All of them
were
super
strong.
Like the
strong.
teacher was strong.
Yeah, she
You see,
was
like,
strong.
Like, she's just badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
So
there was
So-
that random episode where like they had to fight the Yomu that was like a pervert, and they had to do like a pop star. sequence.
you mean the
Oh,
best filler
best
in
filler.
anime history?
Did
Yeah.
you not enjoy that? Like,
The first time I watched it, I only watched like half of it, and I remember disliking that episode. And this time around, for some reason, I didn't dislike it. Like I was like, okay, I get this. For some reason, that
It's a
like
joke.
before I thought it was
It's
like
a
completely
joke.
pointless, but this time I was like, this is funny.
It is completely
It was-
pointless. Like you can totally skip
Yeah.
that episode and love the show
but then you
because
True,
it
but
doesn't
I
add
feel like-
anything.
the dance.
But it's so amazing. Yeah, no, that's how they got their friendship. That's
Yeah,
how they
because-
got
It's
like
true.
the best anime trope, which is just
I was so-
cohesion.
I was so confused, like when they were like talking about how much they trained, and there were all those like snapshots of memories of them
Uh-huh.
like sweating and like working out really
super
hard,
dramatic.
trying to like learn the dance. I'm like, this is very dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
For sure. We rewatched the dance scene, and like we have like looked at each scene. It's like they like apparently there was some drama, and then everyone made up, and then it's just like what happened in the span of a
Yeah.
week? Like,
Yeah, it
oh
was
my
so
god.
Yeah, we have like theories on what they were talking about during that scene. But okay,
okay.
let's not just go into in-depth analysis about the idol
Best
scene
filler in
from
here. So
best
anyone
filler.
listening, best filler, please agree because it is.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go straight to the ending now. Gabby, you can go ahead because she just watched it the most recently. Let's go ahead and explain how they end this extremely dramatic show.
Yeah. So basically, the half Yomu, since since he's half Yomu, then the Yomu that lives within him is called Beyond the Boundary, which is like the name of the series. And in order to like save him, Midai, the main character, like the little pink-haired girl, had to either kill him during like his weakest point, or like take in the Yomu through her blood. It was kind of weird how they explained it, but like she just basically took it in herself and became the Yomu, kind of.
Right,
She disintegrated. It was like, it's kind of
vague.
weird, vague science, not science behind it,
Like,
but, you know,
fantasy.
spirit.
I don't even know, you know?
Yeah, they don't fully explain. They just basically say she, like, disintegrates into the Yomu, like, using her blood somehow. But, and she's basically in, like, an alternate reality, I guess, where everyone else is kind of living their lives, but she's still, like, fighting the Yomu in a mirrored world.
Right.
And she's been doing that for like 3 months or something, while everyone thinks she's dead. And what was the main Akihita, or the guy? He's been like recovering, and then when he comes to, he's like, where is she, blah 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 stuff. And then they find out that she's still there, and he like goes up to save her or like help her. And then they defeat it, and then she's actually still dead, and you're like, this is so sad, what the heck? And then he's really depressed and junk, and then in the last like 3 seconds they're like, oh, just kidding, she's back. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was there's no explanation.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes of the episode, Akihito just runs to like the high school top of the building where they first met, and she's standing there.
Yeah, and then he says the same thing.
She was legitimately
like, I
dead.
love you in glasses. Instead of just saying I love glasses in general, it's like him saying like he loves her. But
okay, so how did you feel about that?
Like, I liked everything except for like because it's just that they didn't explain anything at the end. Like, why is she there? Where did she come from? Like, if they had just explained how, or like, it's mainly just like the no explanation thing. Like, I like that she was there, like that she came back, because that's what I wanted. I wanted them to get together. But I wouldn't have been upset if he just like ended up not ever being able to see her again, and she just living in his memory. But like, I don't know.
Yeah. What about you, David?
So for me, the ending was awful because I think the ending is terrible, and I think it's terrible because if she had died, because they made the scene really dramatic, right?
Yeah.
They build up a really good climax, and you know he goes to save her, and then she dies, and you're like, oh my god, right? And then it's like, oh, JK, you know, like, what happened to all, like, why did you dissipate all that, you know, plot energy? And I think if they had kept her dead, it would have been one of the like top animes for me.
Yeah, I do wish they kind of kept her dead, or at least explained how she came back. Like, if there was some sort of explanation behind it, then maybe, right. But
like, I wanted a happy ending for him. Like, oh, that's cool that they got together. But then the whole thing that they don't explain anything just adds like more, just like, what? Why did you go this direction? Like,
yeah, and also like in the end, he still ends up with the Yomu in him. Like, I don't know how that works out.
Yeah, it just goes back.
He's still living with it, but I guess it's just like subdued or something. He's just like more in touch with it.
Yeah,
I think Christian has a theory. Like, we talked about it, but I can't remember it. She like, yeah.
Okay, I can say that in a sec. I'll just say like my quick reaction. I had the same reaction as you guys. Like, last episode of this podcast, when we were explaining the ending to it, whatever, David made it sound like I was the only one who didn't like the ending, and he was like, oh yeah, Christian's too good for the ending. I was like, no, I think a lot of people don't like this ending because it's such a cop out. It's such a cop out ending by KyoAni, because they are known to have like very I don't know, they always have like really happy shows, and I felt like they were like, we can't have this dark of a show, like, because we're KyoAni or something. Like, I don't know, it was just a really beautiful tragedy in the sense that she has this ultimate sacrifice for the guy that she
Yeah.
loves, and Kyoani just throws it away. They're just like, nah.
Right.
I
Nah.
know.
So
Especially since like it kind of twisted because usually, especially in like anime and stuff, it's the guy sacrificing instead of the girl.
yeah.
So it was like
It
a
was
bit-
really, really cool and really unique. Yeah, the show is like really dark, and like the halfway point of the show, like the whole, like, the main character was the guy Akihito, and then it whole like flips. The main character turns into Mirai,
Right.
and it turns out she was the one like pulling all the strings.
Yeah, and the whole time she knew he was half Yomu, and like she was supposed to kill him all along.
Yeah, and it's like
she-
super,
like,
super cool.
what?
Yeah, you like the show had like a really great turning point.
Yeah,
had
because
really
even
great
I love how
climax.
they went through all of the scenes and showed it again as if like so you understood like how they went. Because you were like, oh, now I get why she reacted that way. Because before you were just like, oh, she's being really shy, but you
Mhm.
realize she's distancing herself because like she doesn't want to get involved and get attached because she has to kill him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I would just like to say also that the show is really enjoyable. The show's not bad because of the ending. Like I still rated this like a 7 out of 10. Like it was really great, wonderfully animated, like really fun show. So like the ending doesn't completely ruin the show.
No,
Like I would
not because it's literally the last like 2 minutes. Just stop there.
stop at the 2 minute mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, the very end. Stop at the 20-minute
Don't
mark. Don't
finish
watch the
it.
last 4, and then like just be like, oh wow, that's such a dark show and like so beautiful. Yeah. Stop there. No. It's completely fine. They also have a movie like afterwards. It's a sequel, and I haven't watched it. People
I haven't
say
watched it either.
people say they don't touch on it very well. What happened? But
Okay.
uh,
I did feel like they left it open a little bit because
Mhm.
like when I don't know, it felt like they could have done sequel type thing. So I might want to watch that
Yeah.
to see what happens.
yeah, we should definitely all watch that at the same time, and then like totally just feel happy together because it's probably just really happy. But yeah, there was a theory I read online. Like I didn't make this up, but that said, okay, so yomus are created from hatred in the world, right? They're like just manifestations of like everyone's anger or whatever.
Right.
And
Negative
so-
feelings or something.
Yeah, negative feelings. So someone said like, what if Akihito was just having such like positive feelings towards Mirai that he recreated her as a Yomu, but with good feelings. Like it wasn't ever like explained that you can't do that. That you
Right.
can't create Yomus based off of happiness. So like, what if he had
They
just
did
so much
say that
happiness?
they're
in
a
him?
whole bunch of different kinds because like even there are
Mhm.
those like humanoid ones that they're like we're good Yomu,
Yeah.
we're not bad ones.
Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like wondering
Uh-huh.
where do those kind of Yomus come from?
Yeah, so they were just saying like now she's a Yomu and she's gonna be immortal just like him.
Right.
And I was like,
Mhm.
wow, that would have been like
That would've
amazing.
been cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing
They didn't-
explanation.
They never hinted at that at all.
Yeah, they don't
There
explain
you
it
go.
or anything.
Yeah,
So-
because he just somehow like knew that she was on the roof and he just like
Yeah.
ran and everyone's like what?
Yeah, because he could smell her like a weirdo.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that covers it. Kyoukai no Kanata. Don't not watch the show because we don't like the ending. Like you guys might like the ending. It's like pretty cheesy, corny ending. So you should be ashamed
And
if you liked
overall,
it.
the
But-
series is good, so
But yeah, it is very fun, and I liked it a lot. So I guess yeah, if I liked it, everyone else in the world should like it. So
definitely.
totally kidding. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about tropes, anime tropes. They're super corny, super cheesy, but super awesome because they're shared by all the animes together. Not all of them, but whenever you see a trope, you recognize it from anime to anime, and you just say like, "Oh, that reminds me of X anime," and it just like gives you a sense of connection to any anime show. Just because they're using some cheesy trope that's really easy to throw into their show.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and kick us off, David, and tell us what your favorites or non-favorites about anime tropes are.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a dislike. So in a lot of moe stuff, there's usually a harem, a guy, and he, needs to go to the bathroom or something, and or breaks into the bathroom, and it's always the main character and like the main girl, and she's half naked, changing or something, and then she gets mad at him, and he gets kicked out and stuff, and there's an accident, right? So I don't like that trope because that would never ever happen, and it never happens ever. Like, when does that ever happen? So
When does walking in on someone naked happen? Because
yeah,
that
and
happens.
no, but especially like you and like the main love interest, like that, and
Oh,
she's like
okay.
half naked, like covering herself with like a
Yeah.
towel, and it's just like
And
this is just fan service at this point,
yeah,
And it's just like, okay, nice,
the best
but
thing about it is that no one in the anime world knows how to lock a bathroom door.
yeah,
Or knock,
Yeah, or not. Like
or
there's a
hear sounds coming from the bathroom.
yeah, there's a light on in the bathroom, or there's a fan, or there's water running, or I hear anything from the bathroom. No.
Yeah.
Watch me. Yeah, I'm gonna get this real quick. Oh my god, it's the MC. They're naked. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Unless that's what they're thinking. Like,
Yeah.
Unless it's
totally
all on
think this should
purpose,
happen.
all of those times in every
Uh-huh.
anime, it was all on purpose, and he just played it
Yeah.
off really well,
Yeah, those are usually funny, but at the same time, like that they're grabbing for straws with fan service right there.
Right.
A reason to draw the character naked. So
All right, so I also wanted to talk about the magical girl trope, and I like this because, back in the day, transformations were the thing to do. I feel like '90s anime, maybe even older, probably even older, and so nowadays it's just you see it in comedies such as One Punch Man, where you guys were talking about. Puri Puri Prisoner has his own magical girl transformation.
uh-huh.
He's just this buff dude. And then like Luluko has a space
Yeah.
transformation. It's like 2 seconds, but it's still a transformation. So each show with a magical girl will have a transformation, and I just I love the pretty colors. I love the transformation part, and then they look exactly the same after the transformation, but it's still a transformation. So
No, they don't look exactly the same. They have like a dress now,
oh
and
yeah,
then they have
like
like random
collar
wristbands or
like a tiara.
gloves. Yeah, and their hair's done up all of a
Wait,
sudden.
I have a wand now. So you don't know who I am?
Yeah, and
That's how.
one like little thing on my face, so you definitely can't tell who I am.
You also know that at this point, this is when they're the most powerful. This is when they can do everything. So like it's really exciting in that sense too.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but do I have time for one more, or
Yeah,
should I hand
yeah.
it over to Gabby?
No, go ahead. Take one
Okay,
more.
cool. And then in the shonen category for really, really, really cheesy tropes is where the main character is in a bind and through some magical friendship bullshit he gains the energy to muster up his strength and defeat the final boss, and it's just like the power of friendship. That stuff super cheesy.
Yeah.
And
Wait, so wait,
like,
are you talking about ass pulls?
um
Because an ass pull is when the character, like, all the limits of the main character, and they get put into a situation where it's all their limits are tried and they have nothing to get out of this.
Yeah.
But the
Pull something out of
storyline
their
just
ass.
goes, they know Super Saiyan 3. Like, wait, what? It's unheard of! Like, they know how to power up even more, even though they're physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, out of options that are possible.
right,
And it's just like, let's do it! And,
Yeah.
like, it's totally unfair. Like, just because of the main character, it doesn't mean you should go Super Saiyan 3 out of, like, no precedence. But, is that what you're talking about? Ass pulls?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
And this kind of leads into like another trope, like the "this is not my final form," and that's totally a meme, right? It's not my
Yeah.
final form, and both good guys and bad guys do it. Like you were saying, Super Saiyan 3, and then like the bad guy's like, haha, but I have like, version 4 of myself, and it's just like, and they both get buff, and it's like, wait, why weren't you guys just fighting in your final form to begin with? The fight would have ended so much sooner. Like, why do you
6
have forms
episodes
to
ago.
I
begin
didn't want to expend that energy so
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
with? So it's
Yeah.
just- oh god.
It does, as viewers, it keeps us, like, on our toes, because you don't expect it at all. Like, that's what makes it an ass pull. It's like, nobody saw that coming. Why did they do that? How did they do that? I'm so excited. Like that was so awesome.
Yeah.
Please
and,
do it
like,
again.
As a kid, I definitely ate, all this stuff up. And I still kind of do now. Like, Boku no Hero.
I know.
Chips.
Every time
I don't
I'm
think
like,
they've had an ass pull yet. Oh no.
They
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
had
they
an
have.
ass pull, but
They,
it's just
no, they have. Wait.
They have
well, it's not really
had
ass pull. It's just that they make the character uses it in a way that you didn't think.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's
like,
not spoil it at all. But
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, it's just very shonen. So, it's literally just cookie cutter shonen. But it's a great shonen, so
Yeah.
great shonen.
Cool. I
So
guess
those
I'll
are my
go
tropes.
mine.
Cool.
Like okay, one of my biggest dislikes is just like a boring ass main character, like because it happens pretty often. I feel like because it's just like, I mean, they focus a lot on side characters usually because of it, and like since they have to have a boring main character so he can, or it's usually for me the examples I have in my mind are all guys, but like it's so that they can easily like, I don't know, mold themselves to be with other side characters and like get along with different characters, but it's like, ugh. Like the two biggest like contenders for this are like Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan. I feel, even though they're good, they're really good anime. Like for the SAO first
SAO
part,
is amazing. So
the first part, I
Christian
mean,
loves SAO.
I don't love SAO, but
No,
I
he
will
has an
defend
SAO
it.
Pillow.
I do.
And-
It's right
but
over
no, but
Uh-huh.
like
Background.
most of SAO is really really great, but there are like sections where I'm like, eh. But Kirito is so fucking boring.
there. Yeah.
It's like all it is like in the first part is like, I'm really good at swords, you know?
Yeah.
I
And that's
played
like
this
his
game a lot.
characteristic, and that's pretty much it. Other than like, oh, I love Asuna, but even then, like Asuna's the more interesting character between those two.
Mhm.
And everything I was just like, I'm really good at this, and that's his like interest
Yeah.
in the character.
I do want to say, I think that writers do that on purpose so that more people can connect with a character.
It's true, but
They also make them like really generic looking, like they'll have black hair.
Oh yeah.
And it'll just be like yay high or whatever, and then like they just have a normal face, no face scars or anything. Like whenever they're trying to do like the generic character that everyone, any like, I don't know, Japanese man boy, I don't know why I said man boy, man or person can just like immediately be like, I'm him, I'm Kirito, like I can do this. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like it doesn't like obviously it doesn't stop me from watching it because I watched all of SAO. But I mean, it's just like looking back, I'm like, oh, I wish he was a little more interesting. And like with Attack on Titan, Eden kind of has a little more interest, but like, and then once again, like Mikasa, she has like no personality at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just a badass. Like it's
That's
another
what makes
thing.
her
Like,
cool though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know, but
I
like
love
that's
her
all
character.
she is. I love her too, but at the same time, I'm like, there's no like character there. It's just like, I'm fucking cool and I can kill everything.
No, doesn't she have like a dark past or something? Where
Kind
that's,
of, but like she never
I
really
can't remember.
shows. She does, but I don't want to like. I don't.
Yeah, you were not
But
talking
it's-
about Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not spoiler territory.
I actually
guess.
haven't seen Attack on Titan, so
What?
yeah,
Wow.
I can
I mean,
tell you guys not to spoil me. So I didn't know that. Don't spoil
No.
me.
Yeah, don't spoil 'em. But
Right.
yeah, but those are the two biggest contenders I feel, and that's the thing that is probably the biggest for me.
Your biggest dislike.
Biggest dislike. Other things like incestual relationships, like if it's just like hinting at it, like we were talking about Beyond the Boundary, they like joke at it's not an incestual relationship, but it's like just like the guy, her brother, like has a fetish. And but it's more for joking. But like if they actually like in SAO where he almost gets with his cousin, I'm like, this is not okay. This is
Cousin.
really making me very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his cousin, but in the story, like they've been growing up since she was a little girl, so they think they're brother and sister.
Yeah, but she knows that they're not, so she's really into him, but he's not into her, and it's like,
Yeah, but at the same time, like first cousins, it's like
yeah,
not,
I know, it's still
that's
very
pretty
strange.
incestuous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still very uncomfortable for me. That whole like every time she's like, oh, and I'm like, please stop. Please.
And it's a cultural thing. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the Japanese are just like they view that as more okay to like joke around with and kind of kind of walk the line with, but us Americans were just like, oh god, this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been like, it's been pounded into us being like, yeah, that's totally not okay. Like we make
Yeah.
fun of Southerners because
Yeah,
they
Right. And we live in Georgia, guys.
Yeah,
so
we live in Georgia. We are
We
Southern.
are Southern, and we can say that.
That doesn't mean you can say that.
No,
Okay.
definitely means you can say that.
But yeah, and then the other dislike is like unnecessary fan service. Cause like, I mean, most of fan service is unnecessary.
Yeah, fan
but, like,
service, like, by definition, is
Fan service is
unnecessary.
great, guys.
but like, so most of the time, like, it doesn't bother me if they're like the anime and there's still like content there that's good. But if there's nothing but fan service, then obviously I'm just like, please no, because there's an extent to it. Like if it's just like once or twice every episode, I'm like whatever. Or if like they just kind of have a shot where it's like emphasizing a girl's boobs, I'm like,
Like a
okay, I
panty
see,
shot- a panty
yeah,
shot or
I see
something.
what you're doing there. I don't really care. It's not the main point, but
yeah.
yeah. So I don't. It's not like the huge dislike, but it's just like I notice it when it's there. But yeah. And then like my likes, we talked about like the toast in the mouth thing. Whenever they're like late for school, they have
Yeah.
toast in their mouth.
They're
Like,
running late. They're like,
Yeah, they're running late, yeah. And then
It's
they
just
have like,
cute.
oh, bye, Mom. Like
Yeah.
throwing in the breakfast. And they're like, wait, no, honey, you still need to eat there. And she's like, no, I got it. I got this toast with jam on it. This is all I need for nutrition.
yeah.
It's just really cute. I
Diet of high
like
school.
pictures
Japanese
and
girl.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's nothing like in particular about it that's like amazing. It's just really cute. And then like my one of the things I noticed that I like is like when there's a group of, it's usually in slice of life, when there's a group of girls or guys or whatever, and there's like one character that's like the dumb one, and they're
The
just there.
airhead, yeah.
Yeah, the airhead one that's there for comedic effect. And like my biggest example of that I love is from Azumanga Daioh, is Osaka, where she's just like such a dumbass, but she's like hilarious. I love her so much. She's always saying like random shit.
What? Yeah, that's like or they do that in K-On, but they make the main character the airhead. And
yeah,
it's
I love her.
yeah, Yui. Yeah, she just like she'll just be the very, very happy-go-lucky person who always says like things in conversation that make no sense, and she'll just be like smacking her face and she'll be like, "Oh, silly me," and then everyone will just be like, "Yui, Yui," and it'll be like super cute. But yeah, I love that trope as well.
Yeah, so that's my likes. I couldn't. It was hard for me to think of ones I specifically liked. I just like a lot of things.
Because
So.
you hate all tropes.
And I hate a lot of tropes. So.
Okay, so one trope that is really, really cheesy, and I just, whenever I see it in an anime, I have to watch that anime because I love it so much, is Tsunderes. Like, it's the girl that is, like, in love with the main character, but they're embarrassed by it. They think the main character's dumb. They don't want to show it, and so they're, like, violent, or they're just, like, really... like negative, yeah, towards the
They're
main
very
character.
mean-spirited.
Yeah.
But inside, they just like they love
Like,
them so much, and
They
then,
don't
like
even want to admit.
yeah, they don't want to admit
Yeah.
to themselves, you know, they
Like
don't want to
biggest.
do that.
Have you guys seen Toradora or whatever?
Wait, what?
No.
Oh,
No.
that's
Toradora?
like-
No.
It's my
Huge
plan to watch.
contender of that.
Yeah,
Huge
Taiga.
contender.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, people
favorite
say
one is
she's
from.
the-
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say my favorite one is from, the one about the Dojin one. Christian, what's the anime called?
The Dojin one, what? Psychono?
Yes, I can know.
Oh, Psychono.
The little girl with
Wait,
She's
Edity?
blonde?
The blonde one?
yeah.
Oh, that's another trope actually, is, whatchamacallit, the, childhood friend. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
In harems, they'll always have the childhood friend of the main character,
Right.
and,
Yeah.
like, you know, they've been through so much together, but they never win.
Right.
They always have to lose. So, honestly, I love basically all harems. So, like, any trope from that, I'm just like, yes. You've got this character, you've got the tsundere, you've got childhood friend. Okay, you're in my book. Like top 10 animes. But back to tsunderes. Yeah, my favorite are like Misako Mikoto from Railgun series. Like she's just like a silly little tomboy, and like
Oh yeah.
she just randomly has a weird crush on the one guy that she can't beat. Like she like battles him all the time and she can't beat him, and she's like, wow, I love this guy. And then whenever she sees him, she's like, get away from me, like we can't share the same space, like all this kind of stuff. And it's just
Yeah.
so cute whenever it's on screen. And then like yeah, I think that's enough harping on tsunderes, but it's super fun and I just love it. Another trope is the high school setting of so many anime.
Right.
Like so many anime just cop out and put it in a high school. They're like, let me think. Oh yeah, Kyoukai no Kanata. They're just like, yeah, let's have a bunch of like super powerful alien people like fight each other and you have to like hunt them. Oh yeah, they're high schoolers. And it's just
Everyone's
like,
a high
Who's the
schooler
main
now.
character? Okay, all right. Stick with me. So a boy in high school or a girl in high school? Sold. You know.
yeah, it's like okay, hundreds of dollars. And like the thing is with high school setting is that like a lot of people complain that as you get older or something like, or if you didn't even like high school, like you're not going to connect with it, right? As Americans, like we don't have the same experience as Japanese people do in high school settings because they have like clubs after every day and they have like very many different things that are stranger to our American high school system.
Right.
But that's why I find it so interesting is that we get to learn more about like the Japanese culture based on like just watching anime. And like now I feel like I've been through a Japanese high school at least 5 times, right, with like the hundreds of shows I've watched with anime.
Send me to Japan. I got it. I know the
Yeah.
routine.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I know when I get in trouble, I'm gonna stand in the hall. I know I'm gonna have to like go clean the floors whenever I'm in detention
Yeah, I
or
have to
whatever.
take entrance exams.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have to fill out a club form because everyone's going to a club and I haven't.
Right.
Yeah. When I
Getting
moved,
school festivals that I need
Yeah.
to prepare for.
Oh, I really wish that was a part of our system.
I know. I was.
that we had
Uh,
school festivals.
Yeah, they look so fun. There's fireworks, there's food, there's something like yukata things, you know?
Oh, I think you're thinking about normal festivals though. When they have yukatas and like they have fireworks.
No, any festival, there's
Oh.
always fireworks.
The school ones usually have like each class has like a game that they.
Yeah. Each class has a thing that they have to like
Oh,
set
yeah,
up.
you're right. I am thinking about like night festivals.
Yeah. But yeah. So like a lot of anime will have high school settings, and I love that. Like I can see how a lot of people wouldn't like that because it's harder to connect to if you didn't like high school or as you get older. But I don't know. I always love finding similarities between their high schools and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also love like school uniforms. Just uniforms and like in general, like I don't have to think about what I have to wear. Like I just have to like have my uniform out.
Outfit like in high school, everyone would always be like, "Oh, well, we don't want like, school uniforms." I'm like, "But why?" I'm like, "This would be makes things so much easier." And also like thing about Beyond the Boundary or the Kyoukai no Kanata, like Mirai always did the cutest stuff. She always had like a cute little cardigan or like
yeah, she was adorable.
her shoe. She was so cute. I love the way she wore her outfit. Her school uniform.
Yeah, Mirai's the bomb. Okay, and then finally, one trope that I don't really love is the not explanation. Okay, the way that Japanese animation portrays ages. So they'll draw out their characters and they'll be like, this is a really cool character design. Like, it's a really, really tall dude, really masculine. He has like very developed muscles and stuff. He's 12. And I'm just like, no. Yeah. When I was 12, like, I was nothing like
or
that.
Or girls with, like, huge breasts, and they're like, oh, she's an early developer. I'm like,
Yeah, like, she's 11. Yeah, or something like that. And it just makes me feel really uncomfortable. Like, Japanese people don't really understand, like, how ages work or what your body's going to look like when you're X amount of age. But, like, it makes sense because they have, like, supernatural shows and stuff. So it's like, why is that the one thing that you don't believe? Like, oh, yeah, this huge buff person can like shoot fire out of their mouths and then like I don't know make time stop, but you can't believe that they're 12. So like that is kind of like cheesy. Like another example would be Your Lie in April. Like really great anime about kids and their passion for music, but they're 14 and they already know like their whole life plan. And it's like, no.
And they're so introspective and just...
When I was 14, I was in the 8th grade, and I didn't even know if I wanted spaghetti for lunch or not. So, like
chicken nuggets or the pizza?
But instead, they're just like, do I want to play piano for the rest of my life? or do I want to just die? And it's like, dude, no. There's like way more to life. Like, it's okay if you don't play piano, but yeah. So like ages, I feel like are just really wonky in anime,
Yeah,
or at
and also
least
there are a lot of
character
times
designs.
where like you think they're in high school, but they're actually in middle school. That
Yeah,
happens a lot. I feel like
Yeah.
when you
Yuri,
assume.
that was it. Like, have you seen Yuri?
No,
Gabby?
I've seen
Yuri,
pictures of it
Yuri.
though.
Okay,
Wait.
yeah. I think are they? Me and Christian, we were watching. We were like, are they in middle school
Or
or?
high school.
Now we sound just really just awful because we're talking about middle school girls, but like it's just like I don't know how old they are. Like, come on, anime, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which is like-
usually, if they are in middle school, they definitely don't have to be middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Madoka Magica.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. Were they high school? Were they middle school? I can't tell.
That's a great
You know?
question. I think
Yeah.
no. Like I just watched that last week. I'm pretty sure they're in high school. Yeah. I think they're in high school.
But they look like middle schoolers, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because they're like tiny. And then you
Right.
have like, I guess you guys haven't watched this, but like in whatchamacallit, a certain magical index, they have like the first like bad guy of the show is like some gigantic redhead with long hair. It's like down here, and he like does fire magic, and he's super strong. He's always smoking cigarettes and stuff. 14 years old, and everyone's just like, wait, what? Like, how is he 14? And he's like literally 2 like feet taller than the main character, who's like, I think 15 or 16. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ages and character designs don't.
I think
really
they just have like a
coincide.
wheel, and then whatever the wheel falls on is like, oh, okay, they're 12.
Yeah, that's how they're gonna be.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
they decide the ages.
Yeah, they just like drop a bunch
Because it
of
never really
straws.
correlates to the situations that they're in. Because usually, like, way more serious than they should be dealing with.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, that's my anime tropes that I love and not so much love, and that I guess wraps us up, right, guys?
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to decide next week's theme?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go through this.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and decide what we're going to talk about next week for our 2 themes as well. And I already have my vote on what anime on your list have you been meaning to see but haven't. How do you guys feel about that one?
I've been wanting to do that one.
Oh, well, me too. So let's do it.
Well, it sounds like we all agree. So
Okay, so now
Let's
the
do it.
other one.
Okay, and now we need one more. Yeah. Okay, since that was my guess, you guys get to pick the other.
Oh, jeez.
Because I don't want to look anymore.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm reading this list.
I
So
know. One thing I thought would be interesting that I really want to like think more about is like what factors into rating a show for you, like what can turn an anime series from like a 9 to a 10,
Okay,
or like
so
something like
yeah,
that.
rating
like that.
systems for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually have a lot of opinions about that. So that's
Yeah. I think
feel like
that's
we all
a good
do.
topic to talk about.
right.
'Cause some people don't even want to rate their anime.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
sometimes
we can, like,
you'll look
talk
at
about
someone's
that.
list and you're just like, you rated this and this and that.
Yeah.
That's interesting, you know. So so much discussion.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's a good wrap, or I don't know. Those are 2 good topics. So stay tuned. Watch Daijoubu podcast next week, and we're gonna tell you all about what anime on our lists have we been meaning to see but we haven't, and we're gonna talk about how we rate anime, if we rate it and if we don't, and our decisions behind that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can see us whenever. Just throw us
Daijoubu
on in the
podcast.
background. Yeah, Daijoubu podcast. Do you guys have any other last notes?
Let's see. Nope. Thank God finals are over.
Oh, yeah. Finals
God.
are over, so we're
We
going to be like,
graduated.
we're all going to be watching a ton of anime.
For
So
sure.
like we'll have like
Oh, yeah.
so much to talk about. Like if we kept Our Weekend Anime, by the way, if you guys watched last episode, I said I was gonna watch 4 shows within the past week, and I did. So I was gonna talk about all
That's
that.
exactly. I was just like,
It was gonna be way too long if I talked about all of them though.
right. Yeah.
But-
obviously. So.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, definitely follow us. Also, we're very open to feedback. So if you're listening to
yeah.
this segment of this, please tell us if we can improve in any way. We're really open to feedback because, to be honest, we don't get any.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. These two losers don't really have any personal like social media accounts that they follow. But
I'll make it soon, hopefully.
yeah, I have a Twitter and Instagram and all
Yeah.
that sort of junk. It's at My Lady Gabriella with 2 L's in the Gabriella. And I also try and stream on Twitch as well, like individually, like gaming stuff. So if you guys are into that, I'm
Follow her.
there.
Yes.
Yeah. And I keep up with the Daijoubu podcast Twitter, so like you
Awesome.
can probably find information in both places for it. So
Mhm.
cool.
All right, so just remember, Daijoubu.
大丈夫っぽい大丈夫大丈夫
That was a good
大丈夫
amount of time.
大丈夫
Are we good? Are we on?
大丈夫大丈夫だよ大丈夫なの
大丈夫か
大丈夫